you're enjoying the show, don't forget to support us. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more. Your star ratings and reviews help others discover our podcast. So take a moment to share your thoughts. We appreciate you, and let's keep the conversation going. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to ADHP. That's Attention Deficit Hyperactive Politics. Will you please welcome your hosts, Doug Robinson, Todd Sellers, and Brandon Popson.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of ADHP with Doug and Todd and Brandon. We're Brandon-less today. We have a search party sent out for him. He may show up at any point. He's been invited, but we'll know Brandon so far today. So how are you doing, Todd? I guess not to bury the lead, but it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
It is my birthday. Today is my not my 25th, my my 54th birthday. Yeah.
The big 54. That's one of the Breaking Bad birthdays.
Yeah. Oh, is it now? I do know.
Yeah, that's one of.
I think I have another 12 months before I can start ordering off the Denny's senior menu.
The senior menu.
Yeah. Senior menu, and then I'll also be eligible to live in those adult trailer parks. 55 and over.
Yeah, there you go. You can officially move into a senior only area.
Yeah. Damn those kids.
But yeah, in Breaking Bad, he like spells out his birthday in bacon, his age, and one of them's 54.
I mean, I do like bacon. There's nothing wrong with
Who
bacon.
doesn't?
Yeah.
And your gift is in the mail, by the way. It should be showing up tomorrow.
Shit. I just clicked on something and all of a sudden it stopped the stream for a second. It's still going though. I don't know what happened. Either way, it's all good. I don't know why that happened. So it may have dropped for a second. All right, back to. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling.
No, but did you hear you got a gift in the mail showing up tomorrow?
Oh, I do. Okay. No, I did not hear that. My brain was hyper focusing on the fact that I clicked on something and everything stopped for a second. So.
Well, I won't tell you what it is, but I'll tell you what it's not. I chose it over the other option was a fork that says "May the fork be with you." That's not what I chose.
You know what's funny is I used to say that as a kid, going, "Yeah, this is a funny Star Wars joke," and I'm like, "Sure it is, Todd."
It's a nice laser engraved fork though, so you might still get it for Christmas.
Nice. No, I remember, God, it was a year or two back. I was looking on Etsy for something specific, and I don't remember what the specific thing was, but I do remember running across a pair of engagement rings. One that says "I love you," and the other one that says "I know." And I was like,
"There you go."
I was like, if I ever find someone to spend the rest of my life with, I'm getting those if they still exist.
Well, you say you got to get them and then manifest it. It'll,
is that how it works?
If you buy it, it will come. Yeah.
See, now here I'm thinking the other way around, thinking I need to have someone to give them to before I can get them. You know.
Well, this is why it's never worked out for you, Todd. You're doing it backwards.
Oh man, I'm thinking too literal. I think so.
Yeah, there you go. Why would I? No, of course not. But so, did you do anything today for your birthday? Did you meet up with anybody?
I did not do anything today. I stayed home and just kind of doom scrolled on my phone, and then I moved over to the computer and doom scrolled over there, and and then sorry, I'm clicking on things again. And so I just did a lot of just staring at a screen today. I didn't really plan on doing much of anything. I have like $16 in my pocket that I can use to get myself something to eat or something to eat, or maybe something to eat.
you got food on your mind.
I mean, it's like, I mean, $16. What can you get for $16?
Well, you're in Renton. There's a lot on the table.
Yeah, and
just gotta find the right alley.
And everything that's on the table is out of my price range.
Well, you got to go under the table, I guess.
Oh
maybe.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Turn that up a little bit.
Just walk down the streets in Renton going, "What can I get for $16?"
Yeah.
You can get mugged. That's what you can get.
There we go.
It was like in art class. I would, or ceramics class. I would ask kids how much to pay me to break their piece.
What?
And then they'd say nothing, and I'd go, okay, I'll do it for free.
Okay, yeah, I suppose, yeah, no, yeah, no, don't do that.
All right, so we do have a correction to make from last week. We talking about obviously the Charlie Kirk assassination. Uh,
Right.
One of the things it really seemed at the time, which we did talk about last week, is whether or not he was a groiper. And we talked a little bit about what a groiper was and the followers of Nick Fuentes.
Right.
It does kind of appear that he's not a groiper. Like, I don't know what if he had any sort of passing through that field or not, but it seems like the memes, as far as we can tell now, are just memes. Like, they've by the time he's putting them anywhere, they've lost all original meaning or origin or
Uh,
anything like that.
so
Like, he's just
there wasn't anything that he was. People claimed him, but he wasn't actively a member of.
yeah, he does not appear to have been a groiper. He's really just kind of apolitical, except for he appears to have been uh you know
He's been red pilled, but he doesn't
he,
claim any association.
I don't know that he's been red pilled he's really like they did searching through like all his history of like Discord chats and whatever, and he's mentioned a politician like twice, which is he mentioned Trump in terms of like vote tallies, and he mentioned
Oh,
Biden in terms of like I think Biden's gonna win or lose or something like that. Like, it was really non-charged language at all, and he's definitely sympathetic to LGBTQ causes. He seems to possibly be in that world himself, but it doesn't appear like he appears to have been purely motivated by hatred for Charlie Kirk in particular. Um,
got ya.
yeah, and he doesn't really seem to fall into any particular. Like, he was raised conservative. Like, we know
I
that
mean, yeah,
much.
he grew up in Utah,
Yeah,
right in the middle of, you know, Mormon country, and they all pretty much are Republican. You can't really. I don't think it's possible to be Mormon and a left leaning person in general. So
yeah. I mean, I don't. He's a child of it, right? So you can always rebel against your parenting, but
yeah, I
you're
suppose.
certainly that doesn't mean you're not brought up. Obviously, he was brought up around guns, and that was part of this whole deal. Is
Yeah,
something I said on Facebook once is his political ideology may have something to do with why he hated Charlie Kirk, but his methods and actions are the direct result of being brought up in a gun-friendly, you know, individual, take your, stand your ground kind of mentality. Like, it's definitely like I don't think you can blame his political ideology on why he did it. That's more on the upbringing of like how you handle right and wrong, and
right,
shooting your way to a solution kind of mentality. Like, I think that's something that you get from a more gun friendly, individualistic type of thinking.
right, yeah.
Like a non, it's almost like a being raised to be antisocial in a way.
I'm getting notifications of shit that you said like an hour ago right now for some reason.
Well, that's Facebook for you.
It's a good thing I have the volume down on my phone.
So, obviously, the big news coming in the wake of the Charlie Kirk thing was Jimmy Kimmel being pulled indefinitely.
Yeah,
Basically, after the FCC chair threatened action if something wasn't done, and this is, of course, on the tails of Stephen Colbert being announced that his contract would not be renewed,
right.
and and Trump coming out and saying that Jimmy Kimmel was next, and now he's saying that like Fallon and Seth Meyers are next after Jimmy, and it's clearly Trump going after like late night hosts because he does,
Because
but partially
they call him out on the shit he says and does, and he doesn't like that. So
and the thing is, but Fallon doesn't. He's still coming after Fallon, and Fallon, if anything, is sympathetic to Trump, and I almost think that's like basically the Tim Heidecker was on with Hassan Piker this week, and they're talking about how late night talk shows are a dinosaur and they're dying out. Like, they're a product of a pre-internet age, and they are going away anyways, probably. They're going to, become something different. And Trump, I think, is just kind of getting out ahead of this and using it to be like, well, we know these are. He basically, bullies people based on their vulnerability,
Right.
and he sees that these are low ratings shows that don't get the ratings they used to and aren't really viable in the internet world, and he's just getting out ahead of it and being like, okay, we can sort of like we can make it seem like I'm the one firing them, but maybe Stephen Colbert's contract wasn't going to be
I
renewed
have some
anyways,
small ones right there.
and Jimmy Kimmel's, last time his contract was up, he wasn't going to renew it, but then he renewed for 3 years.
Take it.
Like it's all possible that this is just stuff that was going to happen anyways, and Trump, being the carnival barking con man that he is
Right.
just stepping in front at the right time to go to say some words and make it seem like he's the one to blame for this. It's sort of like backing down from the national, only sending the National Guard to states that invite him, right? Like
Yeah.
he's just picking his battles where he can win it because of control of that state or control of Congress or control of the courts. Um, it's kind of like he's doing a con man's version of authoritarianism. Um, it's where he's running up against the actual Constitution, like when he's trying to fire Lisa Cook at the Fed. That isn't working out so far. Um, he is finding pushback when he tries to ban guns from all trans people. Like he is finding pushback. Even people on the right now are pushing back on this Kimmel stuff. Um, which that's something that bothers me, uh, when it comes to like Democrats can't seem to get the back of trans people anytime that they're willing to throw trans people under the bus for the blame this last election on them, when I think that's absolutely not what did it, but they're willing to do that. Meanwhile, the second Trump says, let's ban trans people from having guns, the NRA is like, no, we're putting our foot down. Because they understand that if they're really going to protect their rights, they're going to protect them for the most vulnerable, the easiest to lose them. And that way they are all protected. And the fact that the Democrats can't get on that page
Right.
when it comes to protecting trans people and the most vulnerable people, like that really frustrates me. Um, because even at least the conservatives know how to circle the wagons. Um, so Trump is still setting dangerous precedent with all these moves, but most of these moves wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the fact that they have the Supreme Court, they have Congress, and they have these various states. Once the Democrats can get control of Congress again, now that's assuming they can do so, most of this stops because they can start impeaching him day one. Um, Even if it's going to not result in a conviction in the Senate, it still stops everything that they're doing. Um, the question is, are they going to be willing to impeach him, or are they going to say, "Oh well, his poll numbers actually went up when we impeached him before, therefore we think it's a bad move to impeach him, and we're just going to sit idly by and let things keep going the way they are." Like that's my concern of what the Democrats end up doing. Um, and they just pass a bunch of legislation that doesn't go anywhere because they don't have the Senate. Um, but I still think I don't. That's what I'd like to see the Democrats do, is be making a list right now saying, here's the impeachable things he's done so far. Add to it every day if there's cause to. And then when the time comes and the election season comes, we can say, hey, yes, we are going to impeach him. And then that way, if they get the votes, they have the mandate. And here's all the valid reasons we have to impeach him for. And that's what's going to happen. So, and then if the American people don't vote for them and keep Republicans in power, then I guess we've just decided to be this sort of place now, which is that's the real shitty thing.
Yeah. That is, yeah, that's shitty for sure.
Basically, it's Trump is activating the hate in everyone. Trump makes us all the worst of each other. He brings out the worst in each of us. He makes us all play to our worst instincts. If something's he tries to make scary things scarier. He tries to make mundane things scary. He tries to make things that would actually be good for us scary. It's just everything's about fear mongering and grievance politics and just don't trust somebody. That guy over there is trying to screw you. It's all about bringing out the worst in us, and that's why I shared that Sunday sermon from Jack Cameron, who maybe we can get on the show sometime, um, talking about the real divide in our politics right now is those of us that are focused on a hate and suspicion, and those of us that are focused on love and inclusion,
Yeah.
and that's where the real divide is. And the problem is when the power divide and the money is all at the top. Like that's the problem, was we let the money collect at the top for so long, basically since 1980, and now we don't have the power and resources to adequately check it. And now hate, they can stir hate, and if they can stir up hate in 40% of people, then they have enough to they have enough power at the top to those 40% of the people are going to bully us all. And that's what we've seen happen lately. Um, and that's why I think the only thing we can do in response to this is to look for more collective operations, like cooperative projects to reach across the aisle and work on, and that is absolutely a UBI, and that is absolutely healthcare, because that's what's killing both sides. But that's especially killing the conservative side. Like they need healthcare, they need a universal basic income. It would make their lives so much better. They just need to be offered it by somebody they trust. Is basically where that comes down to.
Yeah. And you,
So yeah, go ahead.
it's the universal basic income, right? UBI.
Yes, yeah, or a general income, citizens dividend, as Hamilton called it.
Okay.
So yeah,
And
and
not
for
not
anybody
the
that forgets, we just republished that UBI episode a couple weeks ago,
yeah,
so
we
they can
did.
check on that. They can check that out.
And I mistakenly thought it was something else. And says, what? They have a cream for that at the pharmacy.
That's a UTI.
That's what I thought you said.
No, B isn't basic.
It's how T's and B's and C's and everything that has that same sound to it all sound the same over the phone. That's why we
They
have
definitely can,
that.
especially B and V.
Yeah. Or or I actually heard someone say this when
Bobo.
they said T is in pterodactyl.
Right.
Did you say P or T? Is it yes?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So I'm just posting. We are now live over on the social medias.
Good idea. So sticking with the Charlie Kirk stuff, um, there's a researcher. She's a CEO of sort of a oh, what is it? It's the it's the WLN, which is the oh my goodness, I cannot remember. It's like the We Learn Network or something like that, but I can't remember. We Want to Learn More Network. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
WLM, the Want to Learn More Network. Um, and we'll put a link to this Substack article. It's a free Substack article, but what this person is doing, her name is Evie Winters, Evey, Evie, and then Winters. Um, they're doing a research where they're basically feeding Charlie Kirk speeches into a few different large language models and scoring them for uh, basically for where they would fall under stochastic terrorism.
Oh, okay.
So what they're trying to do is, perhaps for the first time in history, according to them, is create tools for recognizing and safeguarding ourselves and our loved ones against propaganda, hate, division, and politics of division. It will demonstrate that Charlie Kirk regularly engaged in such politics using methods that will become familiar to you all as stochastic terrorism. Now, do you know what stochastic terrorism is, Todd?
I do not know.
Have you heard the term before?
I think so.
It's definitely come up a lot lately. If you ever listen to Keith Olbermann, you definitely would hear it from time to time. Um, but stochastic terrorism is basically what Trump does, which is so the an example that a lot of people like to use lately is like when the mob walks into a establishment and it's like, oh, nice place you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Oh,
But
right.
that's more of a shakedown, which is kind of happening also. But stochastic terrorism really is more like, won't somebody rid me of this terrible general, right? And then oh, looks like somebody happened to take him out, right? Like it's basically creating the environment for bad things to happen, for acts of terrorism to happen without actually calling for it or being directly linked to it, right? And then
So
oh, looks like somebody
one way that
happened.
we
We've seen stochastic terrorism happen
sorry
lately is Trump
stop.
just constantly saying these are bad people and you can't just argue your way out with them and they can't be trusted. They're terrible people. They're doing harm. They're dangerous. We
Right.
need Second Amendment remedies. Like whoever, when that came out, Second Amendment remedies. That's an absolute stochastic terrorist statement. Like you're trying to trigger somebody else to do it. Um,
Got you. That way,
so the
that way
meth
they have plausible deniability, right? So they can say, "Oh, I never
exactly,
said that. I would never do that."
exactly. And it's also why politicians traditionally abstain from any kind of speech that could even be vaguely connected to it because they know how powerful it is to make those kind of insinuations. Like when people said fight like hell on January 6th, like that was absolutely pushing people to do that. So here's the methodology that they use for this. They downloaded full transcripts where possible and within the bounds of copyright law, as well as media accounts as that could be verified of the sayings of Charlie Kirk. And then they used large language models, specifically, excuse me, specifically trained Gemma models using Olama that had been calibrated to focus on different aspects of the analysis. So the LLMs were asked to identify hate speech or other derogatory language in the transcripts, and then to check that against three known frameworks for analyzing dangerous speech or hate speech. Um, so if you're interested, the three they used were the Dangerous Speech Project framework, Trap 18, and the Robot framework. I won't go into those in detail. You can read about it in the link.
Yeah.
Um,
Go do some reading,
so
folks.
Yes. So, in using multiple trained LLMs, they were aiming to stop a model from just agreeing with itself. And then by using separate methodologies, they're able to see areas of ambiguity, disagreement, and hopefully reduce errors in the ultimate outcome. And then they used OpenAI and Perplexity tools to seek out fact checking and information about these quotes and scores to see if they needed to be put into a different context. So, where possible, they included fact checking and other related articles for each item. So the important thing to know is that this is early. This is like the first run. They're hoping to add more data and get more powerful conclusions. And ultimately, um, I would say, and I think the author agrees that it's too early to draw any conclusions yet. Um, but what they have is a series of charts and graphs analyzing the data, and it is basically 8 days worth of work and it's a preliminary output rather than a damning judgment, is how they put it. So what we see in the data is basically a change around 2020, where Kirk was using more mundane language up until 2020, and then after 2020, it becomes much, much more, much higher on the risk assessment. So there's anti-LGBTQ speech is basically all what they categorize as level 1 from 2016 to 2020, and then from just after 2020, so like mid 2020 or so, we have a data point that goes up to 3, and then we start seeing 4s and 5s as we get past 2022 and start ramping up for the 2024 election. So
Okay.
it definitely seems like it ramped up around the election time. And then they also plot these, they plot his rhetoric versus incidents of um, attacks using the FBI's hate crime reporting. And there's a correlation between. Now, that's not to say Charlie Kirk speaks and hate crimes go up. It's just trying to show that Charlie Kirk is part of this culture that's inflaming rhetoric and inflaming tensions and leading to more crime. Right? It's not saying Charlie Kirk is directly responsible, but it's saying he's part of this culture, and there's clearly a culture of it that's been on the rise since 2020. It's on the rise since 2016. We had a whole bunch of hate crimes spring about in the wake of Trump's first election, but it's even more so since 2020, which is obviously when Trump declared war on the federal government and has been working to dismantle it ever since, and obviously achieving much since coming into office.
Okay.
So for those of you that, basically what Evie has said is, for those of you that have felt a certain way about the Charlie Kirk assassination, where you're not mourning him, right? Nobody, like, this whole nonsense about people celebrating his death. People are not celebrating the act of violence. I think most people are terrified of the repercussions from it and wish it had never happened. But if you're still feeling like, if you're wondering why some people aren't mourning it, this gives you some actual data to point to.
Yeah.
And I definitely encourage anybody listening to check out the Substack article that will be linked in our show notes, because you want to read this all for yourself, and you can draw your own conclusions. But it does seem to be clear, at least by the way they're presenting the data, that there was a change after 2020, and he's absolutely was part of this rhetoric of division. And I think everybody understood. Anybody that watched and listened to Charlie Kirk really understood that. I think particularly if you're from the left.
I honestly, I think I've seen maybe a total 10 clips of his, and I didn't watch the whole thing because as soon as I realized what kind of shit he was saying, I was like, I don't want to hear any more from this guy.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, the only time I would hear him lately is when he's covered by other sources I watch that are critiquing
Right,
it.
somebody who's like a response or a Stitch video where they're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, that's not how this works, Charlie. So, uh, I just want to remind people that they can call in from the number on the screen. You can also, if you're watching from Twitch, you can join in on the call that me and Doug are on. I almost called you by a different name. Um, and there is a button in the chat over on Twitch that allows you to jump in. I think what it does is it notifies me that there's someone who wants to hop in. But yeah, you can call in if you hear anything you want to talk about. You can send a text to that number too. So let me know if you sent a text, because sometimes I don't hear my phone while we're recording.
And then just circling back to, my previous discussion of Trump's kind of con man authoritarianism. My upshot point of that was, Trump obviously setting dangerous precedent. The worst thing about it all is the Supreme Court's decision that the president is immune from criminal prosecution for official acts unless he's impeached and convicted. Like, that's just the worst decision ever. It doesn't make any sense with our Constitution, and it's what's freed Trump up to do all this stuff without fear of repercussion.
Right.
But again, it's only happening because of the people are in the right places to allow it to happen. And so my hope, my fingers crossed hope here is that our institutions are holding. It's just the people controlling them are failing us. And so we can put the right people in, and we can get back on track, and we can start going the right direction. But I just don't think the Democrats are going to get the power back unless they put out a real platform of change. And that's and something to really vote for. And that's what we need to see. And we will definitely get into that more as election season gets closer.
Right.
Um, Last bit of news. We're going to go local here. It's national and local. It's the national news affecting us locally. It's something that really, really set me off this week. Which, with everything else happening, there's a million things that are more personally awful for people. There's so, like, families being broken up. I'm not trying to say that this is the worst thing the Trump administration has done. It's raised my ire in particular because it's such a stupid thing to do. And that is the Trump administration has ended the National Blue Ribbon Scholar Program. So what that is a it was established in 1982. So that's either the very end of that. That's like, I think that means Reagan did it, right?
Yeah,
And
I
then
think so. Yeah.
yeah, so the Blue Ribbon Schools program, established in 1982, recognized public and private elementary, middle, and high schools every year based on overall academic performance or progress in closing achievement gaps among students. So it's basically just the mark of a really good school, and it's something that schools absolutely strive for. My high school was a blue ribbon school before for the year 1997, but that's something that we proudly posted for still to this day, I imagine, um, because it means so much to have earned that blue ribbon. When parents are going around choosing where they want to live and where they want to raise a family, that blue ribbon school is a very important tool in assessing where you might want to raise a kid. Is it a perfect tool? Is there to say that there could be, um, you know, race based biases in terms of what schools get chosen and whatnot? I haven't done that analysis, but sure, there definitely could be. But that doesn't mean you want to end the program. You can expand the program. It doesn't need to be ended. And this has come up locally because Cascadia Elementary in our state um, had won the award. They had filled out their like 27-page application for it, and they had been they learned in August that they had won the award. But before the school could publicly announce it, the U.S. Department of Education terminated the program on August 29th as part of their effort to, quote, return education to the states. And it really doesn't matter what you want to do with education in the states. Having the blue ribbon program is just a nice feather for schools to strive for, and a good incentive to get them to do the right things for their students. And it's just so stupid to take this away. So that's what I got to say about that.
Yeah, I I'm not surprised that Trump has done away with something like that. I am surprised if it's something that came about in the Reagan era. You'd think he'd be all about it, because every
Well,
Trumper I've ever
it's all in their effort to dismantle the
yeah
Department of Education. You can't have the Department of Education giving out a national award if you don't want the Department of Education to exist. So I think
good
that's what's going on
good
there.
point.
It's just all part of the fuckery. But yeah, let's get into some happier, or who knows if it'll actually be happier. But let's get into some geek news, Todd.
Let's do some geek news. Yeah, I'll pull this up real quick. Geek news.
Welcome to What's Geek this week. Your go-to for the coolest in pop culture tech and nerdy news. Let's dive in.
All right. Yeah, I pulled up a few stories. I don't know how. There's at least a couple that are happy. One of the things I pulled up is the first thing I have here is that since Kimmel was unceremoniously just pulled from TV, a lot of people have been saying, you know what, fuck you ABC, fuck you Disney. And they've all canceled their trips to Disneyland, Disney World, all the other Disney parks and cruise ships, as well as any other Disney product. Disney Plus cancelizations, and people boycotting ABC networks. And there's been people boycotting out in front of Como, I think it is, here in Seattle. There's the ABC affiliate, and
And I think that's the best thing that locally that we can be doing is protesting Como, which is the Sinclair owned uh, local news, and noting the advertisers. Like watch a Como news broadcast just to see who's advertising and then writing to those advertisers saying you're boycotting them.
You know what I noticed though after I canceled my Disney Plus account, which included Hulu, I started seeing a lot of advertisements for Disney products on things.
Yeah.
They're targeting me specifically to to get me to come back. I'm not, no, not unless you bring back. And the funny thing is I didn't watch Jimmy Fallon or excuse me,
Or
Kimmel
Kimmel. Yeah.
on a regular basis, but I did like his show. I did watch it occasionally whenever he had a guest that I liked. I would watch. Um, but it's but yeah, what they did is not cool. It should have never happened. Um, you know it. Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the next thing because that's fucking pissing me off right now. Um, uh, so two shows or two movies dropped on the same day. We had a Batman movie and the James Gunn Superman movie, both dropped on the same day. We all know about the Superman movie, but a lot of people didn't hear about this new Batman movie, and it's called Aztec Batman. And
Yeah, you mentioned that it was coming. You brought it up months ago now, but
at least a few weeks back.
yeah.
So it basically, and I watched it late last night because I finally found a copy that had English on it. The first copy I got my hands on was all Spanish. There was no switching over to the English dub on the version that I had. So I found one that had both English and Spanish on it, which is I don't fault them for being a Spanish speaking movie because it is a Spanish story.
Yeah.
This one anyhow, it's called Aztec Batman: Clash of Empires. And it is a 2025 adult animated historical superhero film based on DC comic character Batman. It's a collaboration between Anima, ANMA, Chatron, and Warner Brothers Animation, with Juan Meza Leon as director and writer. The film was released on HBO Max and in Mexican theaters by Cinepolis. It's basically Spanish for cinema distribution, I think, and Universal Pictures International Entertainment on September 18th, 2025, and in America on the 19th, 2025. It's about an Aztec boy. His parents are murdered by Spanish conquistadors. As an adult, he is a priest in the court of King Montezuma II and works with his fellow clerics in a temple to defy Spanish invaders and protect their people using masked personas of the Batman. And the costumes are really cool. It's like like an Aztec warrior kind of outfit, but it's all like bat themed. And we have Aztec versions of Catwoman and the Joker and Two-Face. And all the actors in it are of Latin descent, so everyone has like an authentic Spanish-speaking accent when they're speaking English, and I'm assuming they speak fluent Spanish. So, yeah, no, I really liked it. It was
That's what I was gonna say. What'd you think of the movie?
other than the first 20 minutes, I was like, God, I wish I could watch this in English because this looks really cool. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna look back and see if I can find an English dub because the one I clicked on was clearly not didn't have that option. So I went back and looked, and there it was. I was like, oh, finally, okay, cool. So I started the movie over and started over. The Basically, it's you see the kind of the origins of why this guy becomes a warrior and wants to fight the Spanish and all this other stuff. And it has Cortez as Two-Face. Hernan Cortez, I guess he's an actual like Spanish conquistador that came to the New World.
Yeah, he was the savage guy that I want to say he was the one that burned the boats so that they couldn't leave, and they had no choice but to survive.
And they did that in this story too.
Okay.
So, and then we have he is Two-Face. He becomes Two-Face in this story. He gets
That's interesting.
He gets like attacked by Catwoman, and like his face is pretty badly disfigured, and so over the rest of the movie, he becomes more and more like the Two-Face we all know, which is half of his face is one way and the other half is the other way, and so yeah, he's yeah, it's worth watching if nothing else. Rent it. If you have HBO Max, I guess it's free there. So I would, if you have HBO Max, watch it there. Um,
There you go.
yeah. So no, it's in like the character. There's characters in there. Like there's a priest who's like a spiritual leader for one of the kings, and this guy's name was Yoka, Yoka, and as the story progresses, you realize that guy is their version of the Joker. I mean, when you're looking at the guy,
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, yeah,
Joker.
yeah, you
Joker.
know. But and what's funny is like when I went back and started over again, because I fell asleep because it was late. I wanted to watch it. I wanted to watch it, but then I fell asleep because I was tired. Uh, and I realized that Yoka, the coloring of his outfit matched kind of the Joker's kind of theme, purple with green accents and black and white.
Okay.
So, and
I do like these reimaginings and reinterpretations where you get the familiar kind of stuff, but it presented in a totally new way. It's kind of what's fun about the Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse
yeah,
world too.
it's what they call an Elseworlds, where it's a similar story but told from a different perspective. Like the Superman story where he lands in the Soviet Russia instead of in Kansas. That was an Elseworlds, which is one of the things. What was it? Not Tucker Carlson. What the hell? Maybe it was Tucker Carlson. Somebody over at Fox or on the right was. Oh no, it was Ben Shapiro. It's like proving that if Superman had landed in Kansas like he was supposed to, he would have been a good guy. It's like clearly he never read the comic books, so he didn't know that 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 Superman isn't evil. He just doesn't know any better, and when he does know better, he rejects Soviet Russia. So keep hearing a popping sound. Is that on your end?
Oh, it must be my phone.
Okay. Here, pop, pop. Okay. All right. So next story I have here. So yeah.
This next story, so I'm not able to click on this next story. It's telling me the link is not secure and it won't let me go.
Oh,
um
the Collider story.
yeah, but I am very interested in this. So this is really interesting.
I need to disable my fucking ad blocker. That's fucking stupid.
Is that why mine's not getting through? I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know. It just says secure connection failed.
Yeah. No, it's.
But the story is that Netflix may be looking to buy Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true. I haven't been able to find anything other than Collider as being a site that I recognized. All the other links that I was originally shown looked like they were a sketchy website, and I know Collider is a decent site, but I don't know. Maybe this because there's a lot of ads on this one. Maybe that's why it was being problematic. All right, it says here a new contender may have just entered the Warner Brothers Discovery sweepstakes, with Paramount and Skydance officially cementing their merger back in August. There were rumblings that a newly bolstered entertainment giant under David Ellison was next looking to acquire the storied Hollywood studio, bones and all. However, Puck News has now reported that a shocking twist, Netflix may be considering a bid. Adding smoke to this potential fire is that the streamer's CEO, Ted Sarandos, has recently in attendance at the Crawford Alvarez fight in Las Vegas alongside Chief David Zaslav. That guy fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like him. He ruined a bunch of DC stuff when he took over Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah, he's one of the big dogs of the enshittification of our culture.
Yeah, he said it doesn't look good, so we're not gonna release it. The Batgirl movie, which had Michael Keaton coming back as Batman again, and then we also had Brendan Fraser as Firefly, and I wanted to see that so bad. Fuck that guy. David Zaslav can bite a dick. Anyway, sorry. Can you tell I'm a little passionate about that? Netflix has been the face of streaming for years now, for better or for worse, since transitioning from original mail order rental DVD business. The company has continued to grow, offering a wide range of original TV shows, including Wednesday and Stranger Things, which is coming back like a week. And movies like Rian Johnson's Knives Out sequels and Sony Pictures animation breakout hit K-pop Demon Hunters. Directly to homes, they've increasingly represented the challenge. Blah, 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 blah. Get to the point here. God, I hate this when they just ramble on about bullshit.
Are you our fans now?
So, I mean, when I first heard that Netflix might be buying Warner Brothers from Discovery, I'm like, good, take it away from that dickhead Zaslav. I don't know. I feel like Netflix would be the kind of company that would be like, all right, you guys know what you're fucking doing. We're not gonna tell you how to do your shit.
Well, yeah, because Netflix is like, we wouldn't know what to tell you. You just do you.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix did. No wait. Netflix didn't. I was thinking something else entirely. I was gonna say somebody else, another streamer bought like MGM Studios, but that was Amazon. So, but yeah, no, I would be okay with Netflix owning like DC and all the other things that come with Warner Brothers, as long as it's taken away from Zaslav and his fucking dumbass. Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people are like, no,
would they own that DCU then?
Yeah.
Or how would that work?
No, they would own the DCU. They would own DC Comics. They would own everything that Warner Brothers owns. So like all the animation that comes with Warner Brothers. So like Hanna-Barbera stuff, all the Looney Tunes stuff, everything.
I mean, it would be a smart move for Netflix. It would make them kind of relevant again.
Yeah. It would also probably mean that we'd get all the Warner Brothers stuff, all the really great animation from like the beginning of the century all the way up to like 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, they have to decide what they're willing to host. But
I mean, right now, a lot
of that stuff I'd be excited for it.
Yeah.
As much as I can be excited for that sort of thing.
I mean,
for corporate bullshit.
A lot of that stuff is now over on not Pluto, the other one. One of the free streaming sites has all the
Tubi or something.
Tubi, yeah. Thank you, Tubi. Tubi TV has all the Warner Brothers cartoons and stuff right now.
Tubi or not Tubi?
All right, get back to the stories, Todd. All right, and I think that's it for the geek stuff. I didn't have a whole lot that I wanted to talk about. Other than, like I said, the Aztec Batman was awesome. I highly recommend watching it if you like Batman in general.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it now. Like you sold me on it, that's for sure.
Let's see.
So are we gonna play some Floriduh or not?
Yeah, we gotta do some Floriduh.
Oh no, here we go again. A barefoot guy robbing a gas station in the name of Gavin Newsom. Call the police, arrest the Florida man. Is it Floriduh or not? Is it Floriduh or not? Where did this happen?
All right, yeah, I actually grabbed a lot more stories for this than I did the geek stuff because there wasn't anything I really wanted to talk about over there.
All right, well, I'm excited. Let's play.
Let's play. So I don't honestly remember which ones are which. I'm gonna have to click on the stories to find out. The first one I have here is dystopian toilet forces users to watch ads in exchange for toilet paper. Do you think that is Florida or not?
I could see Florida aspiring to this, but the technology sounds more like South Korea or something.
I mean, you're not far from the truth. It says here in some
Or
parts
Japan.
of China, even
China, there
something
you
as
go.
simple as going to the restroom requires a person to watch adverts. Can you imagine, like, sitting down and go, "Oh fuck"? You're like, as soon as you sit down, you realize there's a TV in front of me. They're gonna make me watch some bullshit before I can wipe my
Oh.
ass.
Or like you have a particularly rough situation, and it's like, oh god, I'm gonna have to watch an entire infomercial to get enough toilet paper to solve this.
Oh my god, yeah. Just like, I have to watch one more ad to get 3 more squares.
Ugh.
Oh man.
And the ironic thing, it'll be like an ad for a bidet or something.
It'll be
Like,
a bit like, hey, do you suffer from diarrhea? You know, or
it's a Beano. Here, watch this Beano ad, and then you can.
or it's an ad, or it's a commercial about an what's the word I'm looking for? Editorial story about like Western food in China. So there's gonna be a story about eating Taco Bell in China.
Yeah, or just a Taco Bell ad. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's funny.
All right,
All right.
1 for 1.
One
Off
for
to a
one.
good start.
All right. So next one is 32 students. Uh, faculty hospitalized after pepper spray deployed during wild brawl at a high school.
Oh, that's got Florida written all over it. I'm going Florida on that one.
Correct. You know,
Oh, right.
I should have like a bell ding or something for when
A
you guys.
bell and a buzzer.
A
Yeah.
bell and a buzzer. I have buzzers somewhere. I don't know if I have the bell. I'll have to find those and add them for next week. Good job. All right.
2 for 2.
2 for 2. All right. Next one is highway crash spills M&Ms across roadway.
Oh, that was in my dream. That was in my dream last night. No, highway. So M&M spill on the highway. No, that had to be in Pennsylvania.
New Jersey highway crash spills M&Ms across
There,
the
that's
roadway.
close enough again.
Close. I mean, that counts, you know. It wasn't
Yeah.
Florida, so you got that right.
I get that part, yeah.
It says a collision between 2 tractor trailers in a New Jersey highway resulted in a real-life candy crush when bags and boxes of M&M's candy covered the roadway.
That would definitely be like, if I saw that happen, I'd be like, oh my god, did I do this?
I'll be like, all right, everybody else has stopped, right? I'm going to park the car, I'm going to run out and grab a bunch of shit and put it in my pockets and get back in the car and go.
Start swimming in it.
Be like Scrooge McDuck in his
Scrooge McDuck,
money
yep.
bin, yeah. All right. Cows painted to look like zebras among the 2025's Nobel Prize winners.
Cows painted to look like zebras?
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, this can't be fucking real.
And it wins a Nobel Prize, or?
It says among 2025's LG Nobel Prize winners.
What in the name of God? That, because like my first instinct was like, oh, this is like one of those Chinese zoos where they dress up like normal animals as something more exotic. Like that was my first. But when you say they get a Nobel Prize for it, like what, why? Like where we need zebras that badly that we can just fake it with a cow.
I think what they're trying to prove is that like having the zebra pattern is what keeps the bugs away. But this
okay.
This
Says, I have heard of that. It does work.
This is what it says here. A parody of the better-known, more prestigious Nobel Prize, the LG Nobel Prize seeks to offer recognition of those who have contributed to the world of science in more unusual ways.
Gotcha. Well, that definitely could be in Florida, but it could also be like Oklahoma. But I'm going to say Florida.
It looks like it's in Japan.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Way off.
But
Way off on that one.
It was a weird enough story that I was like, this could be easily miscategorized
Yeah, you got
as
me.
Florida.
You definitely got me. So
Yeah.
3 out of 4 now.
I think it's a cool idea, though. Maybe we next summer.
I have heard of it. Yeah, it turns out the zebra pattern keeps bugs away, and people start doing it to cattle to keep them from getting all these
getting
bug bites and stuff.
getting like malaria bites and stuff from mosquitoes.
Yeah.
The next story is my neighbor keeps using my address for food deliveries.
I mean, honestly, that could be anywhere. I'm gonna go Florida.
It looks like it's the UK because this comes from express.co.uk.
Really could be anywhere.
I figured it had to be another country because the food delivery is Just Eat, and I've never heard of that. So and then
there you go. I would have given it away.
Says a woman at her wit's end after her neighbor repeatedly orders Just Eat deliveries to her address because her own home isn't recognized by the delivery apps. God. Can you imagine like Google Maps like not knowing where your house is but knows your neighbor's house?
That's what happens when you live off the grid.
I mean, that also happens when you live in an area that is not like densely. Well, maybe it's too densely populated, is what it sounds like, because it's like.
Your subletted basement isn't showing up on the DoorDash map.
Or they live in the garage, above the garage. But
yeah, I'm renting your loft. I have to have the food delivered to the front door.
But it sounds like it's like they're
an actual neighbor,
actual neighbor who lives next door, and it's like the amount of times I laughed when I saw this is the amount of times I got my Google Maps told me to go to the wrong spot when delivering stuff, like when I was doing Uber Eats or DoorDash. And because the internal maps for the delivery service is way worse than Google Earth or Google Maps, I always use Google Maps because it was 75% more accurate than the other one, and so that 25% of the time you would get directed to go to the back side of the building, or down the alleyway behind the house, you know. So yeah, so I feel the person's pain, but I also feel the pain of the delivery guy who has to deliver it and get yelled at by the person. It's like, I didn't order this. Yeah, it's for this person's like, they're my fucking neighbor. They're right over there. All right, I think there's one more, right?
Looked like it. Speaking of which, I don't know how the delivery for your thing tomorrow is going to work either. I just put in your address.
No, they should find it. Where I live currently doesn't have any of those issues because my house is on the street, so it's not like you're gonna be. In the other, it says motorist busted after tossed pickle hits road worker.
Tossed pickle hits road worker.
So the guy threw a pickle out the window and he's driving down the road, and he haphazardly threw it out, and then he hit a person who was working on the side of the road.
So I started out 3 for 3. I've gone Florida the last 2. They've been wrong. If I don't get this one, I'm going to finish 500. I need this one to stay above 50-50. So read it again.
It says a motorist found himself in trouble with the law following a bizarre incident in which he allegedly tossed a pickle out the window of his vehicle and would wind up hitting a highway worker. The weird event reportedly occurred on Monday as Christoph was crossing the border and passed by a transportation employee working a detail at the spot.
I think you've given away too much information now, because I'm going to say, based on Christoph and crossing a border, this is somewhere in Europe.
Nope.
Ah.
It wasn't Florida, so at least you're not wrong in that aspect. So it was in Massachusetts.
Ah.
So same time zone, I think.
Yes, Eastern.
Yeah.
Depends on what part of Florida is Central Time Zone, which always throws me off.
Really?
The Panhandle. Yeah, the Panhandle.
But this story came from coasttocoastam.com. It must have been a slow news week for George Norrie. But can you imagine like having the police pull up to your house and saying, "Yeah, we need to issue you a citation because somebody like got biffed in the head with a pickle."
Oh man, it was a drive-by vegging.
is is a is a and he was like, "Man, it's no big deal."
I don't understand why they're making a big deal out of this.
Sorry, I had to. I said I was talking to my friend Shannon about this earlier, and I said that, and she started cackling. I was like, "Okay, that was funny. I'll use that."
Carl's Jr. has the big dill burger now, and
Oh,
now I want to try it.
I don't know. I mean, I like dill pickles on my burgers, but I don't want a burger that's entirely pickles. You know what I mean? Like one or two pickles is good. It doesn't like overtake the entire flavor of the burger. But if all you taste is dill, then I think it's gonna be too much. And it would definitely be a big dill. Pun intended. All right.
No, I'm hungry now.
Right? Sorry. I didn't mean to make you guys hungry for something. I don't know what it will be.
It's okay. I'm gonna go have a bagel dog after this.
So check this out. I went and used the Copilot AI to make the graphic that is on screen, and it took like 10 different tries for it to spell Florida like that. It didn't like that I spelled it that way.
It's like, no, not okay. This is
Yeah.
wrong.
So I mean, it goes. First, it did like Florida with 2 U's, and I was like, no, there's too many U's. It's just DUH at the end instead of the A, you know. And it goes, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Let me try again. And then it goes DUIH. I was like, no, that's still wrong.
No, bad computer.
I was like, are you fucking with me? He's like, no, it's just happening. It's like, do you have an affinity for Florida? Am I being too harsh on Florida? I was like, no, it's funny. I was like, thank you for at least acknowledging that I'm funny, But it was just the whole thing. It legitimately took like 6 or 7 tries before it got Florida or not. So, yeah. But anyways, hope everybody had a good week, despite all the shit that's in the news, and hopefully
Yeah, as good a week as possible in these days.
yeah, hopefully this Florida or not was sufficiently weird and funny for you that you're like, okay, that was good, I'm good, and
And hopefully Brandon is okay.
yeah, I'm sure he's fine. He's probably, he's probably exhausted from his work week. I know last Sunday he was just tired and just he didn't have the bandwidth to do this on top of everything else he had to do this week.
Which I certainly understand. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that was part of the reason why I didn't like completely go. You guys, what the hell, man? I was a little butthurt. I was like, I was so looking forward to recording today. Fine, tomorrow's fine. Whatever. God. It turned into Napoleon Dynamite. But yeah, no, I was like, no, they have legit reasons for not doing it, so I can't get mad. I want to, but I can't. Damn it. So, I was like, I wanted to record. Yeah, I was grumbling the rest of the day for sure. But yeah, I was fine the next day. So, all right, I guess that is it for this week. And
yeah, another short but sweet one, and we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, we cranked it out in just over an hour. So yeah, suppose we could look up some other things to talk about if you want to continue talking, but otherwise we can go.
I think we're okay. I think we hit all the notes.
We hit all the important shit, and then we ran through the geek this week because I think only had 2 things in there that were legitimately upbeat and not depressing. Or,
yeah, that's
or
true.
made me angry to the point of wanting to punch my TV. But yeah. All right. So as you guys know, you like the podcast, please share with your friends and family. Like Doug did last week, I started getting text messages at 11:30 at night from his aunt talking about how she was loving the episode. She was listening to it and texting me live while she was listening to it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
You got the whole live tweet treatment.
I mean, to be fair, I wasn't mad or anything. I was just like, okay, cool. I was happy to get some engagement. You know, it was just
Yeah,
it's like 3 a.m. for you. What are you doing? You know?
And just a reminder for anybody listening, we love to have your thoughts as you listen along, but go ahead and put those in the YouTube comments while you're listening to along, because that helps the show out.
Yeah, I mean,
having the engagement on YouTube.
You can text me, but I'm probably not gonna respond. She was just lucky that I was like, who is this? Why are you texting me? She's like, oh, it's so and so. I was like, oh, okay, well then, you know.
Cool.
Because it was Doug's aunt, that's the only reason why I was engaging with her. Had it been anybody else, I'd been like, it's too late. It's 3 a.m. for you. It's like 1 a.m. for me. I'm going to bed. Good night. Leave messages. You can leave comments on the videos. You can leave comments on the Spotify. I don't know about other locations where you can listen, but those two places you can leave comments. You can give ratings on Spotify and ratings over on YouTube, and you can give ratings over on Apple Podcast app, which I don't have an Apple device, so I don't know how good or bad it is over there. And I haven't logged into Apple's website in forever, so I don't even know. Yeah, so we try to stream on Sundays. So if you are watching via either YouTube or Twitch, subscribe to the channel and make sure you set it so it notifies you when we go live, because we don't have a set schedule.
And yeah, you never know when we might go live.
We never know, and we probably never will have a set schedule, which is fine. It really is.
It's like, it's fine. It's okay.
It's okay. I'm fine. No, but in all seriousness, it's okay. I just my ADHD is like, why can't we have a schedule? That would be nice. So, all right.
It would be nice if I could schedule my life.
I was like, why? And again, this is one of the reasons was like, it's Todd. It's okay. Doug has got a family and a job. So, two things that he has to deal with regardless of what's going on in his life. So, and
this is true.
And not that he doesn't want to. I'm not saying that at all. Fuck. All right. That's it for me trying to like straighten things out and then just making it the hole deeper.
It's all good. It's all good. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back next week.
Bye.